Hi, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Star Trek The Animated Series. Before we get started with the animated series episode, I do have a quick book update for you guys. If you guys are not interested in the book updates, I will try to remember to include timestamps so you guys can skip ahead. But for the rest of you, I have finished another section of my Harlan Ellison greatest hits. And isn't this just a beautiful cover? I love it. So the first set of stories I did were in the section titled Angry Gods. That's the one where I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream was in. And The Deathbird was like my favorite one from there. And I've just finished reading the section entitled Lost Souls. And there are 5 short stories in that section. So I read Jeff D is 5, which I absolutely loved. Pretty Maggie Moon Eyes, which I enjoyed quite a bit, just not as much as Jeff D. Shatterday. Is that my favorite? I really, really liked Shatterday. I'm not going to go into details of each of these because, I'm not trying to like spoil them, but I also read Mephisto in Onyx, which was the toughest one for me to get through because for some reason I kept falling asleep when I was reading it, and I don't know if that's just because I was really tired every time I went to bed, and then I would read beforehand, or if it was just maybe kind of slow moving for me, but there are so many crazy twists and turns right at the end of this that I fell in love with the story so much after I finished it. It was absolutely wild. And then last night, or was it this morning? Anyways, very recently, I finished reading On the Downhill Side, and that one upset me very much. Just because of what happened in it, it was just very upsetting. So I'm not even sure if I really liked that one. Not saying that it wasn't well written or that it's not a good story. It made me very sad. So the next section is going to be The Passage of Time, but I'm going to wait on this one. Just like in between the last 2 sections, I read Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke. I will read something else before I get into the next section, which is Passage of Time, I believe. Something like that. I haven't made a decision yet on what I'm going to start reading, but you guys will hear about it when I finish it, and I'll let you guys know how it was. Alright, so today's episode of the animated series is episode 14, and it's called The Slaver Weapon. So, let's see how it goes. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the episode. Okay, so I don't know how to say his name, but people have been recommending that author to me ever since I started watching the animated series.
First officer's log. Stardate 4187.3.
Hello, Mr. Spock.
A slaver stasis box discovered by archaeologists are the most remarkable thing the slavers ever produced. Time stands still inside a stasis box.
What?
We know they were masters of all the intelligent beings in this galaxy a billion years ago.
The slavers and all their subjects were exterminated in the war that followed. Intelligent life had to evolve all over again. The stasis boxes are the only remnant of those lost civilizations.
That's wild. What a pretty painting.
This indicates there is another stasis box circling Beta Lyrae. Mr. Sulu.
Yes, sir?
Bring us about. We'll investigate the Beta Lyrae system. Their effect on science has been incalculable. In one was found a flying belt, which was the key to the artificial gravity field used by starships. Another box contained a disruptor bomb with the pin pulled. As a result, all stasis boxes are now under the jurisdiction of Starfleet.
Yeah. So if they pulled the bomb out of the box, it would explode. Huh. No Kirk. No Kirk so far.
We are not tourists here, Lieutenant.
It looks beautiful.
The other box seems to be almost under us, perhaps 30 meters below the ice.
Sabretooth Kitty cats? Oh, hope that was set to stun. Okay, well, I guess we didn't invade their territory without
I must
any
take
warning.
full responsibility for this event. The Kazinti now possess our stasis box. Its contents will determine how much damage my error has done the Federation.
Ooh.
Where are we?
A Kazinti spacecraft.
That isn't good. A police web. We won't be able to move unless we can turn it off somehow.
It looks so strange. Their pink little outfits.
The lean, bedraggled one is a reader of minds.
I've heard all Gazenti telepaths are unhappy neurotics. He fits the description.
Oh.
But the Kazinti are meat eaters. If you sense him reading your mind, think of eating a raw vegetable.
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant Uhura, do not say anything. Do not do anything startling. In an emergency, the Kazinti may forget a human female is an intelligent creature.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
So if we show that we're not meat eaters, they won't feel threatened?
You're a Vulcan. I feel no pressing need to talk to an eater of roots and leaves. Kazinti archaeologists found both boxes, but the one we managed to keep was empty. But the slavers had weapons that could devastate a galaxy. There could be one in that box.
So the second one was empty?
We seek a weapon that will defeat you at last. If we succeed, you are meat for our tables.
I don't want to be meat for anybody's table. What?
Could
Oh.
that be a picture of a slaver?
It looks like fresh meat. Over 1 billion years in that box and it looks fresh.
Well, yeah, because time doesn't exist for that.
Nothing like this has ever been found.
That could be a weapon. Or a hairdryer.
This weapon may well mean the end of mankind. We will use them to test the weapon.
The other human is only a female. The third is a pacifistic herbivore. Surely you would not force me to delve such mines.
I realize the time you need to recover from each effort.
Oh, I kind of feel sorry for that one. It changed shape?
Am I not affecting him at all?
He hears a faint whine, but he feels no ill effects. He is too alien. He makes me taste yellow root munched between flat teeth.
This poor guy.
It may be a communications device.
It changed shape again. Oh.
A good serviceable telescope. They built well, these slavers.
It is of no use to us. We already have small telescopes.
It's interesting that there's no like contact between the Enterprise or like even attempted contact between the Enterprise and the landing party.
Merely a laser. The Federation has had a more effective model for over 100 years.
That's a new shape. Oh! Hey, she got out of the web. No! Oh, I thought she was gonna get away. The noises that that one guy makes is so funny.
What is this?
Perhaps a personal rocket motor. It appears to be transportation, not a weapon.
Nice try.
I'm slowing down. I used to run the 100 in record time.
I believe it.
We are fortunate none of the settings so far have been superior to the technology now available to the Federation.
No obvious way to aim it.
It's a fan. Oh, what the heck?
I can move.
So can I.
The fifth setting seems to be an energy absorber.
Oh. That's why the lights went out. Okay.
Mr. Spock, we...
Yes. When I give the word, make for the shuttle.
Oh! That was so cool. Go Spock! Woo! Woo! Oh no! They got her again!
Captain, what happened?
I would rather not discuss it.
Rather not discuss it.
I have the weapon.
They've got Uhura and subspace radio. They can call for help from the Kazin planet if they think the weapon's worth it.
They cannot. Or rather, will not. Shuft Captain has been attacked by an herbivorous pacifist. Shuft Captain's honor is at stake. He must seek personal revenge before he can call for help.
You did plan it that way.
Of course.
But they could use Lieutenant Uhura as a bribe.
Agreed.
This weapon must have belonged to a spy. All these settings. Only the laser is effective. The others aren't necessary for the line soldier's one purpose, to destroy the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
There is the null setting. It seems to do nothing.
Maraca.
We have the female prisoner. Will you bargain, or must we take harsh action?
Give her back.
We will trade her life for the slaver weapon.
What about Mr. Spock?
I will offer him single combat.
Not interested.
I am as the Falcon left me, with 2 ribs broken.
Damn, he got him good.
Offer refused.
They think very little of you.
Wrong. They don't think much of you.
A self-destruct mechanism would not have a gun sight.
No. Let's see what this does do.
Careful. Woo! Whoa!
We can't give him that.
No.
Total conversion of matter to energy.
If the Kazenti had that, the whole galaxy would be their dinner table.
I've heard people complain about the animation, but I just think the very simplistic animation, it's just, I find it so amusing sometimes.
What would this be?
I have no idea. It is generating power.
Well, they got the slaver weapon.
It has a Kazenti frightened.
It appears to be conversing with them.
How long has it been since you were turned off?
I do not know.
What is the last thing you remember?
We were on a mission.
One of the settings on this weapon was a total conversion beam. We saw it. Tell us how to find it.
Until you reach the null poles.
There must be something we can do.
Whoa. I don't even know what it looks like now.
That was not the total conversion beam setting.
It may be a broad beam weapon for use only from orbit.
We can't let them have that weapon.
They are not about to get it, Lieutenant. Assume you are a slaver war computer. There was a war on. Now you are awakened by aliens you never saw before. Your owner is nowhere about.
I think I'd been captured by the enemy.
Yep.
And when they ask you how to find your most powerful weapon setting, what would you give them?
The least powerful one? Maybe it's... Oh, the self-destruct. Holy crap. That was good. I didn't see that one coming, but I should have.
No sign of the weapon, of course. It would have looked nice in some museum.
Well, it's probably better that it's gone.
If not the Kazenti, the Klingons or some other species would have tried to possess it.
True. Oh man, those kitties got blown up.
That ancient war could have sparked a new war between man and Kazenti.
Didn't you say the Kazenti have legends of weapons haunted by their dead owners?
Yes.
At this rate, they'll never get over those old superstitions.
Oh, guess that's it. That was a fun little romp. We got to meet the Kazenti. Some people mentioned them before. I think they were brought up in a previous episode of the animated series. And I guess they originate from this book by Larry Niven. However you say it. I have a note here on my computer. Let me see. Ringworld by Larry Niven. One of the novels that have been recommended to me by him. Mostly this novel. I think a couple others as well. So I think that's where they these cat people originate from. And oh, and Mr. Niven wrote this episode too, now that I recall. Let's see, let's go back. Written by Larry Niven, adapted from his story, The Soft Weapon. Oh, so maybe that, well, I don't know. I don't know why people have recommended Ringworld specifically and not The Soft Weapon. But anyways, I'm definitely going to pick up something by him because I want to read more of these like old sci-fi stuff. I thought it was so interesting that it was just these three characters. It was a very confined adventure. We just said the Enterprise, forget about them. We're not trying to contact them. They're not trying to contact us. There's no B plot on the Enterprise or anything like that. And I really enjoyed this cast. Oh, and you know what is so wonderful about this episode? So many people mentioned that when the animated series was starting up, it was originally going to be Shatner, Nimoy, and I think Doohan, Jimmy. And then Leonard Nimoy said he wouldn't do it unless they got some of the more culturally diverse cast members, being Sulu and Uhura, Takei, and Nichols. So Nimoy really pulled for those two. And now we get an episode with Spock, Uhura, and Sulu. And I think that's really neat. There was some really good dialogue between the three in this one. I am just Nichelle Nichols is my favorite in this animated series. Her delivery is so good. She has some great lines. I love how she's getting so much spotlight in a lot of these episodes. I enjoyed the high stakes in this episode. Spock realized that he was maybe a little bit hasty. He made a mistake and it could cause a lot of damage to the Federation if the Kzinti got this slaver weapon and it turned out to be something that was really powerful, which it was. And then they were talking about the self-destruct and I was waiting for that to go somewhere and then I kind of forgot about it. So the self-destruct happening when it did, I did not see that coming and that was a really fun moment for me. The Kzinti, I hope I'm saying that right, are so funny. I love the way they're drawn. I love the sad one who can read minds. I love their little pink spacesuits. I like the little noises that they make, the mumblings, sounds of discontent. I love the icy planet that this one was on. I feel like this is a really memorable episode for a lot of different reasons. They introduced the Kzinti, that weapon changing all the different settings, the destructive power of it, the self-destruct at the end. That was really cool and unique. And I felt like it was pretty easy to follow. Like it didn't feel rushed. The pacing felt really good. The story wasn't really complicated, but I think with these shorter episodes, that can be a really good thing. If the story is very straightforward, there's not a bunch of different characters to keep track of, and it felt really concise. Oh, and lastly, the slaver race. That's really interesting. So there was this ancient race that was so powerful, they had control over almost all the other races in the galaxy at one point in time. Sounds like they were very, very advanced. And imagine if we lived, or if our characters lived in a galaxy like that, where maybe the Romulans were the all-powerful ones, or the Klingons, how awful that would be. Or if humans were, how would that be? What would that be like? Or if the Vulcans, what would that be like? I think we can count it as a blessing that that is not the case here, where there's a pretty good balance of power, though we have come across quite a few different species that have been godlike beings, and I guess we've just gotten lucky that they haven't decided to just take over the universe and enslave everybody. Yeah, so I think my initial reaction of this episode is that I really, really enjoyed it. I can't think of anything that I disliked. It was easy to understand. I was never bored. There was a lot of action. And we got to see Sulu and Uhura taking a big part in this one under the command of Spock. And yeah, I'm really impressed by this one. Larry Niven. Maybe I'm gonna have to get a hold of one of his books sooner than I thought. As always, I'd love to hear what you guys think about this episode. And are you a fan of Mr. Larry? And tell me if I'm saying his name wrong or if I'm saying it right. But are you guys a fan of Mr. Larry Niven? And if so, which is your favorite book by him? think that's about it for me. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.